In a small dusty village outside Tambacounda, Senegal, there lived a hunter named Mamadou Diouf. Life was not kind to Mamadou. He had no cattle, no farmland, and no inheritance. The only thing he owned was an old rusty hunting rifle, a pair of torn sandals, and a tiny mud hut covered in palm leaves. But Mamadou had something else too, something money could not buy: his daughter, Aissatou. When Aissatou was just 6 years old, her mother left them. Fatou, Mamadou's wife, packed her bags one morning, told Mamadou she was tired of his suffering, and walked out. She left with a man from the city who promised her a better life with new clothes and air conditioning. Mamadou was heartbroken. But he did not cry. He looked at little Aissatou, tied her on his back, picked up his rifle, and walked deep into the forest. If her mother is gone, I will become her mother, father, and future. He kept that promise. Every morning, Mamadou and Aissatou would rise before the sun. He would whisper, "Today, we hunt to eat. Tomorrow, we hunt to live." With no money for school, Aissatou's education happened under trees, beside rivers, and in the thick silence of the bush. She learned to set traps, follow animal tracks, and skin antelopes. But more than anything, she learned how to cook meat the right way. She learned to season with baobab, ginger, and wild herbs. She learned the perfect firewood to roast meat over. By the time she turned 14, Aissatou could roast bushmeat so delicious that the scent alone could make a tired man weep. They sold the meat by the roadside. At first, only villagers bought it. But one day, a wealthy businessman driving through in a black Jeep stopped. The smell had pulled him out of his car like a magnet. He bought one stick. Then two. Then the whole tray. "Who cooked this?" he asked, licking his fingers. "My daughter," Mamadou said proudly. That was the beginning. Word spread like wildfire. The hunter's daughter cooks meat that tastes like heaven. Politicians, businessmen, ambassadors, and even foreign tourists began to seek her out. She opened a bushmeat restaurant near the highway. The restaurant was made of bamboo and palm leaves at first, but it didn't matter. The taste brought people. Rich men came with white shirts and gold chains. Women in expensive perfumes stood in line just to taste her roasted bush goat and peppered monkey stew. Each time she earned money, she would go home and place it in a wooden box beside her father's mat. "Baba, I will build you a palace," she would say. And she did. By age 22, Aissatou built a mansion in the village. Not just any house, but the biggest home anyone had ever seen, with white tiles, running water, and satellite TV. All for her father. All from meat. One evening, after prayers, a knock came at the mansion gate. Mamadou opened it and froze. Fatou, the woman who abandoned them, stood there in a cheap lace dress and dusty heels. Her makeup was cracked. Her eyes were red. "Mamadou, please. I made a mistake. My husband left me. I have nowhere to go. Please, let me see my daughter." Mamadou looked at her. then slowly stepped aside and said nothing. Aissatou came out wearing a flowing yellow dress and expensive earrings. She looked at the woman and felt nothing. You left us to suffer. He taught me everything. Where were you when we were eating mangoes for dinner? When I was barefoot in the forest? Fatou knelt down in the dust. She wept and begged. And Aissatou, with tears in her own eyes, whispered, I forgive you. But forgiveness does not mean I must carry you. My father is my everything now. She walked back inside, holding her father's hand. A few months later, at a national food festival, Aissatou cooked in front of an audience. Her meal won first prize. She became a celebrity chef. TV stations begged for interviews. The president of Senegal himself invited her to cook at the state banquet. It was there she met Abdoulaye, the richest young man in the country, a gentleman who was raised with values. He fell in love, not with her fame, but with her story. Any woman who can turn forest meat into gold, and pain into power, is a queen. They got married in a grand wedding attended by government ministers, celebrities, and village elders. Mamadou wore a royal robe that day. The man who once walked barefoot in the forest now sat on a golden chair beside his daughter. Aissatou later opened culinary schools, built free kitchens for orphans, and became one of the top citizens of Senegal, a national treasure. Lessons to learn. 1. Poverty is not permanent. With determination, even a forest girl can become a queen. 2. Never despise small beginnings. Aissatou turned roadside bushmeat into an empire. 3. Fathers matter. Mamadou's love, teaching, and sacrifice became the seed of greatness. 4. Your pain can become your power. Aissatou used her abandonment, hunger, and hard life to rise above bitterness. 5. Forgiveness is strength. Even though her mother abandoned her, she still found the grace to forgive, but with wisdom. 6. Talent is a gift, but discipline builds legacy. She didn't just cook, she built systems and helped others. 7. When you honor your parents, you attract honor. Aissatou built for her father first, and honor followed her. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more touching stories. Don't forget to share and comment for others to know your thoughts.